What is up? Day 7 of training camp. Unfortunately, we got some horrible news from Kader Kohou. What is up, Finn fans? Not a lot of footage today. I don't got much footage for you guys from camp today, but we do have Mike McDaniel presser. We got on the field stuff. We hear from Tua and Quinn Ewers. So we got a little bit of here and there. I mean, the Dolphins released a really nice throw from Ewers to D. Estridge. So we're going to look at that as well. But yeah, we're going to jump it off right from the rip. Mike McDaniel lets everyone know at the beginning of the presser that essentially Ashton Davis has suffered a non-contact injury. So it's not his ankle or its knee. It seems like kind of like a shin splint type situation. He didn't go into much detail about it. He said, we are fortunate that it wasn't the worst. That being said, it will take the next couple of days if it wasn't the thing that keeps you the whole season. So Ashton Davis seems to be okay. Probably won't see him in preseason, but, you know, I think he'll be ready for the regular season. But unfortunately, Kader Kohou apparently has a partial tear in his ACL. Or no, his Achilles? No. ACL. Yeah. Partial tear. So Kader Kohou is done for the season. He is going on to IR, which sucks. Horrible blow to the secondary that is, again, consistently getting beat up, banged up. This is a secondary that the Dolphins kind of didn't really worry about when it came to free agency, when it came to the draft, and now we're kind of sitting here watching player after player on that secondary get hurt, miss days, and all that stuff. So it's a situation where the Dolphins need to figure it out. I don't know where they're at cap space wise. I'll look it up while I'm chit-chatting with you guys. But they definitely need to figure it out. Yeah, they haven't, all these sites haven't really put into retrospective the contract and everything, the new contracts of the $11 million savings and all that stuff. So, you know, I don't really know where the Dolphins sit from Spot Track. They're sitting at $12.3 million in cap space. I don't think they took into account. No, Jack Jones, Mike Hilton, Daniel Brunskill, and Cornell Armstrong have not been added. Their cap hit hasn't been added to that, but I expect Jack Jones, Daniel Brunskill, and Cornell Armstrong, I don't think are going to count towards the top 51 cap spaces, because I think it's like $1.5 million, maybe $1.3 million is like the bottom of the top 53. So looking at it, I think it all depends on how much Mike Hilton's contract's going to be. But I think if I had to guess, the Dolphins are probably sitting at probably $7 million in cap space. And again, they can clear up more cap space by giving Sealer an extension, or again, doing the same thing they did with Mika and restructuring it. Real quick, somebody commented saying that they hate the way I say Minka because they want me to, it's my Jersey accent. They want me to say Minka, like really pronounce the N in Minka. They think I'm saying Mika. I'm not. I'm saying Minka, but I'm saying it quickly. So Minka. There's you can hear the N in there, but I'm not saying Mika. That's how I would say Meekah. Mika. I'm saying Mika. I'm Jersey. Leave me alone. Anyway. So yeah, if they clear some cap space, there's still some corners out there. Again, I named 4. I kept naming the 4 in, obviously Rasul Douglas, who we've been in contact with. Obviously Asante Samuel Jr., who we've been in contact with. Stephon Gilmore and Mike Hilton. Well, we signed Mike Hilton. The other 3 are still out there. So there's a possibility also with this Ashton Davis situation, if the injury is worse or, you know, lagging or anything, you still got safeties out there like Simmons. So we'll see how it all pans out. But unfortunately, we're not going to have Kader this year. So the secondary is completely new with Fuller gone, with Poyer gone, with Javon Holland gone, with Jalen Ramsey gone, and now with Kader Kohou gone. completely new secondary. So we'll see how this all pans out. This is from Mike McDaniel and Kader. He says, I was crushed until I talked to Kader, and Kader made me feel better for where he was at simply being in his mindset. Dolphins safety Ashton Davis didn't suffer an Achilles injury, but it appears he'll be sidelined a couple weeks. He's not going to IR, but the exact injury isn't known yet. James Daniels is cleared, which means no restrictions. He's going to be ramped up for full clearance. He had some outstanding team reps yesterday, so that's good to hear. It was solid, kind of a close to my expectations, but not where my team wants it to be. Our expectations and standards are going to be higher. Mike McDaniel talking about the first day of padded practice. This day, keep your eyes open. So today also was a padded practice. Talking about Chop here, he said he's probably the fastest player back to the huddle out of anybody who makes a play on our team. Then when he doesn't win, he's not MFing himself. He learns from it. He is someone who is trying to be great every day he shows up. Absolutely love that. Zach is the backup quarterback, and it's up to the players to adjust that. He says that Zach Wilson's the backup quarterback, but he's keeping an open mind to Quinn Ewers competing to earn his way into making it a true competition. So as of right now, it's not a competition. From what I'm taking from that, again, I'll read it again. But as of right now, it's not a competition. And Zach Wilson is your backup quarterback because he said, but he's keeping an open mind to Quinn Ewers competing to earn his way into making it a true competition. So it's not a competition right now, but he's not negating the possibility that Quinn Ewers continues to perform. Then it becomes a true competition. I'm telling you, if they didn't pay Zach Wilson $6 million, I think Quinn Ewers will probably be the second quarterback. From what I'm hearing, he's doing better than Zach Wilson, but we'll see. No hate to Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson had a very good day today, so we'll see. Mike McDaniel says he really likes the quarterback room. He added the competition can become real if the players make it real. Again, there is no competition as of right now. Talking about Darren Waller, he says Darren's been great. The Dolphins coach described setting up the Noah Fant visit as some mutual interests. Mutual interests. I would love for that to happen. Mike McDaniel is looking for cornerbacks that bring dependability and consistency, players who can be relied on due to complexity of the defense. It sounds to me like it's as much, if not more, mutual than physical. Looking for Miami to get in-game reps to players who do their 1 of 11th. The dude is not faking that energy. He's talking about Willie Gay Jr. And energy is a huge piece of how football teams play the game. Yeah, the screams are A+ for me. You need guys who are super consistent in what we are asking them to do, so we know what we can rely on them to do. Talking about the corners, it's consistency and dependability type of thing. He says, I'm looking at the group critically and focusing on them. I need them to own the technique and fundamentals. Talking about Willie Gay Jr., he says he brings himself, but he's also bringing energy for other people. Mike McDaniel talking about Tua, he says it's his team and he knows it. They keep talking about a certain statistic on Tua, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it. But it's a very good statistic that Tua hasn't done yet, but I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel called Willie Gay one of his favorite veterans, personally edition ever. The dude is not faking the energy. The Miami Dolphins rookies are delivering on who we thought they were as people, McDaniel said. The veterans are letting them know as plain as day, we need you guys now. Talking about the rookie class. He says, I'm very, very happy with the class because they're delivering on who we thought as people. A lot of that will be tested in the next couple of days. They have no understanding of how much scheme they're responsible for because of their the previous life. We will hopefully see them respond favorably. I'm hearing good things from Kenneth Grant. A lot of people are depending on me not to do something ignorant and out of competitiveness. Every day I'm on the job, I have to not react to emotions. McDaniel talks about himself. Your orange jersey of the day is Jalen Waddle. Now, good for Waddle. Waddle has been very consistent all throughout camp. Waddle has been doing his thing like a chicken wing. But come on. I think we all think that Willie Gay Jr. should have been the orange jersey today. And if he's not tomorrow, no, they have off tomorrow. If he's not Friday, I'm going to have to call somebody. Tyreek Hill is excused from Dolphins practice today for personal reasons. Why? We don't know. I'm not going to delve into that. Cam Smith has a compression sleeve on his right leg that might explain why he's sparingly getting reps. That's not good for you, Cam, especially because you are trying to make the roster. Kendall Sheffield is not practicing today, so someone has to step forward and prove they want to make the team. If not, start on the boundary. Again, another corner down. And Sheffield was doing really well so far. So that, again, why is he not practicing? I don't know, but he's not practicing today. Someone has to step up forward as Ashton Davis' replacement as the safety paired with Mika. Dante Trader isn't working for the third straight day. Again, Mike McDaniel talked about Dante Trader being ready for Chicago joint practice. That leaves Elijah Campbell, Patrick McMorris, John Colbert, and John Saunders Jr. Sealer blow. Okay, now you're getting a little one-on-ones. We're getting on the field stuff. We're going to jump right into it. Sealer blows past James Daniels. Mayer does well versus Benito Jones. Henning beats Cornell Armstrong. Ollie Gordon reception versus KJ Britt. And Patrick Paul does well versus Bradley Chubb, which is very nice to hear. Why did I save this one? Anyway, Estridge drops versus Bonner. Linebacker did well versus blocking running backs. Wide receivers had good showing on 1v1s, but DBs made some plays. Offensive line did well versus the defensive line, and that, again, is very good to hear. Larry Borum held up on a rep against edge Mo Kamara. Jordan Phillips swooped past Daniel Brunskill on a one-on-one. I'm not hearing great things about Mo, and it sucks because, you know, a lot of us had high hopes for him in last year's draft. And he's just been real quiet. James Daniels won a rep against Jalen Phillips. Patrick Paul, again, this time standing up Chop Robinson, and Jonah with a nice win against Sealer. Matt Dickerson won the majority of the one-on-ones. This is something that there is something there with him. He might be sponge-worthy, Omar Kelly said. And if you know Omar Kelly, that means something good. 11 out of 11's offense on its own 26. It's 1st and 10. Tua to Waddle in tight coverage from Duck with Dotson in the area. Tua to Waddle been money so far this camp. Julian Hill dropped a pass. Easy pass from Tua. Ball was thrown. Was low, but definitely should have been caught. Jordan Brooks takes a nice down block from Jonah, squares him and disengages and makes the top of H-hand after a run for 3 or 4. KJ Britt, Willie Gay there to meet Jalen Wright at or behind the line of scrimmage. Alexander Madison runs a lot better with pads on. Wasn't impressed in pajamas, but he's caught my eye in pads on. That's from Omar Kelly. We'll be watching to see if Sealer continues doing everything in 11 on 11s, presumably meaning he won't stage a hold in. Sealer did everything yesterday, the first day in full pads. I really doubt, and spoiler, he does practice all day, but I doubt Sealer will do a hold in. That's just not his thing. Alexander Madison continues to be a problem for the defense when he hits the hole with conviction. Ollie Gordon just flashed some of his physical on back-to-back runs, of course, not tackling, but I don't think the defense were bringing him down before he broke through. Zeke Biggers made back-to-back plays against the run, but on the second one, Ollie Gordon got behind his pads and made his own yards. Good physical run. Now Gordon comes around outside with a good edge from Cam Good. Pairing with Cam Smith on an initial edge, Hayden Rucci came around on a block, though, and knocked Eugene Santi on his back. Sealer double teamed by Jonah and Paul. Those two continue to work well together. Love hearing that. Excellent play design on Jalen Waddle's screen with several blockers set up for him right after Tua to Westbrook over the middle with Terrell Dotson there to meet him immediately. That's the thing I'm liking that I'm hearing is a lot of the linebackers and a lot of the corners and a lot of the coverage, passes are being completed, but our guys are right there. So like you'll get a pass for 10, 15, but it's not big yak afterwards because our guys are there to make the tackle. I'm liking that. Until this happened, Tua just got 25 yards on a screen to Jalen Waddle. Most of it was yak, which is funny that I said that. NASCAR pass rush versus Tua. Tua quick throw to Westbrook over the middle with Cornell Armstrong. Westbrook waking up so far today. Quick throws negate pass rush. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what worries me about the corners. Because our pass rush can be fantastic, can be getting after them, we could be sending blitzes, all that stuff. But if our corners get beat off the block and they can't get press coverage and they can't stay with their guys, it don't matter. So hopefully that's something that can be fixed. Cornell Armstrong is on top of Westbrook, but Tua puts the ball between the 1 and the 8 as Westbrook makes the catch with Armstrong on his back to catch it. Impressive throw and catch. Good turns, run play inside again. Good has done that twice in a span of a few days. Nice job. Essentially, he's setting the edge. If you wonder what that means, sorry, what that means by running a play inside, you have Good. He hits the outside. So instead of the running back going to the outside like he wants to, plants his foot and tries to hit the inside because he's setting the edge. You want these defensive ends and these pass rushers and these outside linebackers. You set the edge. Don't want them to get outside. Let the big boys in the middle make the tackle. Channing Tindall just gave Tanner Connor a pop at the end of reception. Connor looked like he wasn't ready. Mo Kamara with a fantastic rep, keeping his outside arm free against a kick out block on a wide run. Forces the back to bubble, helps arrive, and then Mo gets to pursue and finish the play. Again, kicking it to the inside. Kenneth Grant, ascent. They run his way, and he gets his hands inside Jonah's chest plate, executes a push-pull move to disengage and stack up the run for no gain. Willie Gay is perfect position for a pass breakup on Zach Wilson, pass with some zip on it. Apparently, that was an interception that he almost dropped. Man needs to stay on that jug machine. Borum comes back with a nice rep on a play that results in a Willie Gay pass breakup. Gay has been all over the place in camp. Grayson Murphy with a sack on Ewers. Quinn Ewers squeezes a pass nicely between a few defenders downfield, but Theo Weiss dropped it. Grayson Murphy, Channing Tindall then combined for a sack, collapsing Ewers' pocket. Nice hearing Channing Tindall's name in there. Patrick Paul is the player who has really come alive in pads. He's playing like a grown man. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times we hear when they don't have pads on, you got pressure here and you get pressure off the edge and pressure here. And, oh my God, we start freaking out a little bit. Or Patrick Paul, you don't hear his name or you hear like whatever. Once the pads come on, like I told you guys, I think I told you Monday, the offensive linemen are more able to engage because they have something to grab onto, right? Whereas no pads, it's hard to kind of grab onto just t-shirts or jerseys in their sense of it. Patrick Paul just went up to shake Dolphins owner Stephen Ross's hand. It's special teams period, so this is allowed. Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Go say hi to the owner, shake his hand, kiss some babies. Tight end Darren Waller speaking to Stephen Ross and Chris Greer on the sideline right now. This is the first time we've seen Ross at practice. I wonder if he's like, hey, Greer, what's going on with all these corners falling? Like, what's going on? You got to do something here. I don't know. A lot of people think that Greer's seat is comfy. I don't think so. We'll see. 11-on-11 offense starts on the defense 49-yard line. Willie Gay just shoots around right side for a sack versus Wilson. Nobody saw and was able to block Willie. Boop. Orange jersey. I'm going to have a button here that whenever Willie Gay does something really well, I'm going to hit it and you're going to hear the scream. So It'll be fun. Good time. Tua and Waddle again for maybe 15 or 12 yards. Elijah Campbell, closest defender. Got about 2 yards away. Kenneth Grant rides the wave on an outside H-hand run and stacks it up comfortably. The best practice for KG, Kenneth Grant, for my money so far. Zach Wilson with a deep bomb down the sideline to D. Estridge, cornerback Jack Jones, safety Jordan Colbert in coverage. I think this is the video that the Dolphins put out, so we'll look at that. Willie Gay with another sack. Races past left edge where Keon Smith was stationed. Ethan Bonner with a pass break up that gave Mike McDaniel excited. Willie Gay comes on a blitz and has another sack. I've lost count for him over the course of 7 days. He's continuing his stat production. It's pretty wild. Picks, pass breakup, sacks, tackles for loss, doing it all. I love it. I love hearing it. I also was a big proprietor and loved Sam McGuavin. If you guys have been following me for that long, I learned how to say his name properly. I was a Sam McGuavin big fan. And then the pads came on, the lights came on, he kind of dissipated. I don't think Willie Gay Jr. would do that because he's a vet and Sam McGuavin was an undrafted free agent. But this is getting me excited. I'm trying to temper my expectations. 3rd and 6 from the 12. Defensive tackle Matthew Butler breaks through on an interior pass rush for a sack on Tua. On a 3rd and 4 from 6, Tua throws high, incomplete to Malik Washington in the back of the end zone. If that was a tall wide receiver, it might have been caught. Not knocking Malik. Grayson Murphy with a sack on Zach Wilson and goal line work. Murphy was impressive last camp before suffering a knee injury in his exhibition season and picked up exactly where he left off. Jalen Wright, conviction down the middle in a low red zone in for a touchdown. Daniel Brunskill had the movement. Zach Wilson and Jalen Wright fumbled a handoff exchange in late situational red zone period. Wright later showed conviction with the run up the middle. Dolphins players doing up and downs after training camp practice. There have been consistent emphasis on focus and discipline. So you got a little push-ups at the end there. This is the play that I was talking about. So I think this is the deep pass. That's all I got for you. I'm sorry, guys. It's just a nice throw. Tight spiral. It's just a nice throw. What more can you ask for? Nice throw. So we hear from Eric Izukama. He says he's been focused on taking care of his body. Izukama knows he must be an effective blocker, says the new wide receiver coach, Robert Prince, has helped him simplify the playbook. Quinn Ewers says he is confident in his growth. He says we want to be the best engine. We want to be the engine of the defense. Everything starts through us. Starts with setting up the edge and taking on the quarterback. Sorry, that's Quinnen Bell. That's not that said that, not Quinn Ewers. I saw Quinn. Tua Tagovailoa said he's not focused on 0 interceptions in 7 training camp practices. And if you want to know why, this is what he said. Let me play for you.
Yeah, I would say I'm not thinking too much about if I throw an interception or if I don't throw an interception. In camp, you just want to see how consistent you can be with the plays that you're given. And a lot of the times I'm just going to try to see what this is going to look like and what this is going to play like. And if you want to try to see if this fits in this window on a certain pass, you try to see it. I mean, we did that today on one of the first plays maybe of camp today. So, I'm not really basing it off of what the result is or isn't for myself in this training camp. I have about 2 or 3 things max that I have for myself that I'm focusing on for each practice that I go out there. And I can tell you, like, 2 of the 3 things I did not do really well.
And see, I I like hearing him say that, because first and foremost, throwing interceptions at training camp or practice, that's where you're supposed to do it, right? We're not going to sit here and nitpick the fact that, like, if you notice, I'm not sitting here praising, saying, oh, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, Tua, he's back, he's it, da, da, da. I'm not saying any of that because it's training camp. It's this is where you're supposed to, like Tua said, test those things out, throw throws that you might not normally throw, see if maybe I can fit it in there. Maybe, I see the safeties, kind of cheating to that right hash mark. Let me see if I can fit that over the top. Oh, it's a pass breakup, or it's an interception. Well, now I know, throw it a second earlier, throw it 3 seconds earlier, as soon as my back foot drops, then let it release. This is where they are there to try these things out. And at the end, like he said, there's things that he wants to work on, and he was like, I didn't do it. So I like hearing that. That's the stuff I like hearing from Tua. Tua suggests Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are communicating with each other better this year, presumably on the field. Tua said there's 3 things he focuses on for himself every practice. Yes. And he says, I know 2 of those things I did not do today. Tua on Quinn Ewers, he thinks he is balling. Tua, there's always going to be things that you need to correct. Even if you thought you had a good practice, you got to continue to find things, which again, your cup is never full. Always can learn. Tua said he would love to get some preseason snaps in this year. I could see him playing one. He played last year. He played the second preseason game, went 5 for 5 and a touchdown, marched him right down the field, and then he was done. I could see the same thing. Get a series in. You don't really need to, like him, Tyreek, like all these guys, they don't need to really play preseason. Asking about young cornerbacks, Tua says it's hard to say as they're routinely covering 10 and 17. Tua said he had to catch up with Dolphins owner Stephen Ross at practice. They joked around and had a unique conversation. Then Quinton Bell said Chop is a different breed. He said the way he practices and works, you never think he was a rookie last year. And then this is from Josh Moser. He said Zach Sealer is expected to sign a contract extension by the start of 2025 regular season. So again, probably hopefully soon, but probably before the season starts, Sealer will get a new contract. But I think with the way our corners are dropping like flies, his contract extension, whatever you want to call it, might happen sooner rather than later, because could use the cap space. But that is your training camp day 7, back-to-back days in pads. Wasn't a long practice because yesterday was a long practice. They got tomorrow off. I'm thinking of doing a video tomorrow. Rich Eisen had some things to talk about that I want to react to. And then they are back Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let me double check that. And then they get another little break. So so yeah, Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to back to back, and then Saturday's Members Day for anyone that wants to know. Gates open at 8:30. Practice starts at 9 for everyone. Then they take another little bit of a break, the 4th to 5th, and then they're back Wednesday, the 6th, and then they go to Chicago because they do a joint practice with Chicago, I think the 8th. And then we play Chicago the 10th. So got a lot to talk about. I'm going to obviously preview the preseason game. It's not going to be as extensive as my regular season previews, but kind of talk about what I'm looking for and, things here and there. Then they're in Detroit. They're going to do 2 joint practices in Detroit. Then they come home for the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, the 21st being a joint practice. And again, I will be at training camp. I will land in Miami the 19th. So literally going to make my training camp video, hop on a flight, head to Miami, and then the 20th and the 21st, I will be at training camp. And that is my rundown for training camp. But I will see you tomorrow. I got a video planned for you tomorrow. I'm going to have a video planned for you like almost every day. This is fun. I love all of you. But like usual, stay classy. Comment below. Let me know what you think. That ends up.